Hello, welcome to Just Hanging Out. This is just Vintage Crochet, but today we're just vintage hanging out. We're just going to catch up. We're friends. I haven't jumped on here and done a hangout in a while, and I did promise I would do them far and few between, very rarely, because I know that the majority of people who watch this channel don't watch it for content like this. I am no longer uploading on the Karina on camera channel. I'm just going to have this one channel. I really wanted to do vlogs, but I just don't do enough in a day, every day, or even every week, or even every month to have enough to talk about. I don't live an exciting lifestyle, so it's really better to do it this way. And pretty much everyone that watched me on that channel, that short-lived channel, it came from here. So y'all are watching me here too. But anyways, hi, how's every little thing? We have to catch up. I do have some James health update news. And I also have yesterday I was thinking about something, and I thought to myself, I kind of want to ask my friends over on my channel this same question. So I have a question to propose for you guys, and it's silly. It's nothing serious, but I definitely want to see your answers down in the comments. Hello. So right now, today, it is, not April, it's July 22nd. You'll probably see this video tomorrow. You will see this video tomorrow. So you're watching this on the 23rd. It's hot across the world, the whole world. I got to go wash my hands real quick. I'm sitting here trying to crochet this, and I've got smoke juice oil. I just refilled my vape pen, and I've got smoke juice oil on this finger. I'll be right back. I can't. It's tugging. I'll be right back. So I do have some health up. Oh yeah, I was talking about the weather. Good Lord, it's hot around the world, isn't it? I was watching a weather channel on YouTube yesterday. There were some tornadoes off to the east, and they were talking about, I think he said in Tennessee it was like 117 degrees. That's like Arizona weather. What is happening? So it's hot for everyone. So I'm not going to complain about the heat, because it's no longer something I get to exclusively do as someone who lives in Arizona, because we're all in this year, aren't we? But I do have some health updates on James. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what this is. Well, I'm not going to show you what it's going to be yet. This is our next tutorial. But because you did choose to watch this video and hang out with me, your reward is you get the inside scoop on this. So I'll give you a little bit of information how to make this square, and then you can watch me make the next one. So it's not technically a tutorial. And you got to make 20 of these for our next item, which these make up super fast. Look, I started working on these yesterday morning, and now it's 7:15 a.m. and I already have over 15 made. So I just need to make like 4 more. Let me count. This one here is number 16. So after this, I'll need to make 4 more, and then I can finish that tutorial. So that tutorial will be out in just a few days. And it's super cute. You're going to want it. It's a tutorial for all ages. You're going to want it. Trust me. Okay, so I'm going to finish making this one. Just sort of watch what I'm doing. And then I'm going to start a whole new one with you. And I'll give you guys a little bit of information about the yarn, the hook, how to start it. That way you got an early start on things. That's the benefits of hanging out with me. So as far as James goes, so we still have our referral for the Mayo Clinic. We have not been able to get in. They did call me to make him an appointment about 2 months ago. But unfortunately, the kind of healthcare that we have for James, which is state healthcare, so I think it's called Medicaid. Let me confirm that. So he's on Medicaid, which is state funded. So everyone who lives in Arizona that contributes to taxes goes into the Medicaid medical pool. And the Mayo Clinic does not accept Medicaid. I'm guessing because it doesn't cover enough. But they did say that they do accept Medicare, which is the federal government-funded medical program for people who are over the age of 65 or people with certain disabilities, which James, I have news on that. James has been, as of June, approved for permanent disability. Now, that doesn't mean that he is permanently disabled, but what it does mean is he doesn't have to He doesn't have to have his health checkup as frequent, so it doesn't have to be like once a year, but more like once every 7 years. So what's going on with him, they feel, is not something that's going to go away anytime soon. And it's more than just the digestive issues or the seizures. It's also his mental conditions, which are going to be lifelong, you know. So I guess that means he's genuinely disabled. It's hard to say those words out loud when it comes to your own kid whenever they lived a perfectly normal life until the age 22 came and everything started to change. A perfectly normal life. Man, let me show you a picture of what he looked like before all this happened. I don't have a modern picture of him because well, I do. I'm going to show you. Here's what he looked like his senior year of high school. That wasn't that long ago. He's 24 now. And here's what he looks like now. And that picture was from, I guess about 10 months ago. Yeah, I guess about 10 months ago, about the end of last summer. He got a haircut and I took a picture of him and he was very thin. This was that was just before he hit his lowest weight of 101. So yeah, big difference. And watching his health, his eyes just get darker, and just watching his health go down the tubes it's crazy for me to say I have a disabled. Since I'm editing this and thinking about it, here are some other pictures of my James. He graduated a year early from high school. He was supposed to be class of 2021, but he is very smart and he was very proud. This letter came in the mail that he was officially a high school graduate. Just being a goofball in junior high back in Oklahoma. One of his favorite things as a kid, playing video games, and that was Larry's cat. He must have been, I don't know, maybe the 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade. Was freshman year of high school. So here he was about 14. This was his 17th birthday. Look at how healthy he was. Look at those gorgeous cheeks. He was so healthy. The toothless James with Larry. James was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade here. My two handsome guys. Of James, it says class of 2020, but he was supposed to be class of 2021. And him just celebrating that he graduated a year early. He was so excited to get that letter in the mail. James, when he was in high school, he's right here, and they were doing lake cleanup at the local lake out here in Arizona. So this was after we moved. And that's him right there. Just real quick, just because y'all know Justin so well from this channel, this was Justin at 12 years old. He's a giant. He's 6'7" now. This was at 12 years old. Look at the size of the paw on this kid. He was huge. Just because this is one of my favorite pictures. We were picking Larry up from work. James fell asleep on Justin's lap, and then Justin fell asleep on James's back. Of course, I took the picture and went and made sure the seatbelt wasn't choking either of them, and it was not. But how sweet is that? Oh my goodness, to have little kids again. I had nothing but hopes and dreams for this kid's future. He's so brilliant. He does have problems, but he's almost like a savant when it comes to math. It's crazy. I mean, in junior high, he was doing calculus just for fun. Honestly, it was to impress his math teacher's husband because he was a math teacher at OSU, Oklahoma, OSU, which is Oklahoma State University. And he was actually the one that was giving his math teacher a little bit of the college level calculus to play with. And James was doing it. He was enjoying it, but I think he was also enjoying the accolades. The kid's like a savant. I mean, he was on his way. By the time he started high school, everybody was, you know, how whenever you got a student in your school that kind of especially in one field, rises above, it makes your school sort of stand out. So the principal, vice principal, all of his teachers, everyone was like rooting for James and being like, hey, we'll help you, you know, apply for college on a math scholarship and all this and that. And then I don't know what happened, but around his senior year, I think some of the mental health problems really started to take shape. That's kind of whenever a lot of the self-harm started that I was unaware of, but he has since then confessed to. So I imagine it has to do with aging, hormones, things changing, and then the self-harm problems, and then it turns into the seizures and the stomach, and it's just one problem after another. So you can see how this is shocking for me that I have a normal, healthy kid who's like a math whiz and had a scholarship ahead of him, his whole life ahead of him. You know, what he wanted to do was write programs, computer software stuff, and he wanted to make games and be part of like developing new gaming engines and things like that. And he could have. And God bless it, he's still holding on to that dream. He still knows he can do these things. He just needs to feel better. And all he does is sleep these days. Between the antipsychotic, which is very tranquilizing, and then of course the anticonvulsive medications, which is also very tranquilizing, he's only awake about, 6 to 8 hours a day. He's asleep. He'll sit there on the couch falling asleep. God, it just kills me. But now things are looking up. We are really looking up because now we've gotten approved for disability. We've got the medical card coming. We've got the Mayo Clinic in the horizon. And I know that they're going to be able to fix him. That's what they do at the Mayo Clinic. They fix people. That's sort of their motto. We fix people. If it's not, it should be. But we had to wait until we were approved for disability. So we didn't know that we were approved. We had a phone appointment on July 20th, so just a couple days ago. And we waited and waited and waited. It was for 10:30 a.m. and they never called. So by noon, I called the main number and they said, yeah, we can see that you had an appointment. And she said, I can also see that he's already been approved for permanent disability. He was approved last month. She was in such a hurry to get off the phone, I imagine because they get a flood of phone calls, that she really seemed like she was in a hurry to just give me the basic information, reschedule my appointment, and go. So I didn't ask her any details, like what day was he approved on? What does that mean? But I did ask her, does that mean he's been approved for Medicare? And she said, yes, he should be getting a medical card in the mail soon and a letter in the mail explaining, his disability that they believe he has and his level of coverage. He's going to get a monthly income for it. And there's going to be some direct deposit information for him, for his bank. And, he's going to be able to apply for food stamps if he wants, which right now we're okay on that. We can feed him pretty good. So I don't want to take more than we need. I don't want to take advantage because all of this is being paid for by tax dollars, people working really hard. And so I don't want to take more than we need. So I don't think we need the food stamps. We definitely need that Medicare, though. Definitely. So now that we have it, I have to wait till the medical card comes in the mail because that'll have all of his identifying information on it. And we can get him his appointment at the Mayo Clinic. James is doing good. His weight is up and down. So we're fluctuating between about 110 pounds and 120 pounds. Right now, we are at 119 pounds. So we're doing good. But sometimes he has some problems where his stomach just isn't working and he starts to lose weight again. But we know how to get around that now. It's just a matter of temporarily adjusting his diet and eliminating all heavy fats. So butters, dairy fats, greasy fats, things like that. The stomach has a really hard time breaking down fats. So we eliminate a lot of fats. We replace it with rice, broth, chicken, because red meat's also very hard to break down if you have a troubled stomach. And so he gets past it, and then we start reintroducing, some foods that'll put a little more weight on him. It's just sometimes his stomach just acts up. Again, I think it's the vagus nerve. But so that's the update on James. So I'm waiting every day like a puppy by the mailbox, waiting for the mail to see if his card is in the mail. And as soon as it is, we're making that appointment for him and we're getting him straight into the clinic and getting him the help he deserves at this point. Okay, let's start a new square. Now, let's move on to some more happier talk because I knew the James talk was going to be, not the best news. That means that eventually we're going to get to that point of the best news, right? So we're going to have our harder baby steps before we start making leaps and bounds with this guy. So let's get on to some not happier news, but happier conversation. So this was wrong. So with this pattern, here's your little cheat sheet on this, your little prequel. It wants us to either start with a chain 4 or a magic circle, or you could, if you don't like to do the chains, which I personally don't, and you don't like to do magic circle or have yet to really nail one down for yourself, just chain 2 and then work 16 double crochet into that very first chain. And that's sort of it basically will give you the exact same result as a magic circle. Just keep working in that first chain stitch. It'll get tighter and tighter, but you'll be able to get 16 stitches in there. And so there's that. I am going to start with a magic circle. That's what I've been doing so far with all the other squares. So I'm going to chain 3, but it's just going to be gap filler. It does not count as a stitch. And I'm going to work 16 double crochet into this ring. And as far as the yarn I'm using, I have so much of this stuff, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I'm using this again. I still have 3 more unused balls, and this is my 3rd one on this project so far. I had so much of this. So it's the Heartland yarn. It is 251 yards. This is my 3rd ball. I don't know how many I'm going to need until I'm done. It is a worsted, number 4 worsted weight, or for those who don't go by this, it's an Aran weight. It calls for a 6mm hook, and that is precisely what I'm using. And there we go. And the color is called Yosemite. I know it looks like Yosemite, especially if you're not from America, but it is pronounced Yosemite. It is one of our national parks. It's in Northern California. Google it. Oh my God, the pictures. Oh my God. Okay, so this chain here counts as nothing. So I have 1. So I'm just going to work 16. So yeah, I'm enjoying making these these patterns here, which are more modern in design, but we are utilizing vintage patterns to accomplish our modern design. And that's what this is. It is another wearable, like a bolero, I believe is what they're called. It's another wearable that we are using a vintage design, a vintage square pattern to make a modern design. Isn't that fun? Like, this isn't going to become the norm on my channel, but I've just been in a mood to be creative. And I don't get to be creative just following verbatim somebody else's pattern. I want to be creative. I need to stay, I need to keep that spark alive. Or else crochet won't be fun anymore. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is skip over that starting chain 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of my very first double crochet, and look at that. It eliminates a gap. That chain 3 just fills the gap in, and then we're going to want to tighten this all the way. Just like that, which is why the pattern did call for a magic circle if possible. Okay, here, just sort of watch what I'm doing. That was a chain 4. That counts as a double plus chain 1. We're pretty much looking for 16 double crochets separated by a chain 1 here. Anyway, I have a question for you guys. I was thinking to myself, this is a totally non-serious question. I was so bored thinking to myself the other day, when I was first starting this pattern. Now, I wasn't bored because of this pattern, but it's just mental boredness. I can't explain it. I had to think while I was working. Okay, what is one thing, or even a handful of things, that it seems like everyone else around you has done, experienced, watched, eaten, but you have literally never? So for me, I was thinking, what are some things I've never that everyone around me has? I have been to Starbucks, but that's because other people wanted to go. I've never had anything from Starbucks personally. I've never gotten a tea, a coffee, a cookie, nothing. I guess I've breathed their air, but that's about it. I have never consumed anything from Starbucks. I was gifted a Starbucks tumbler about 8 years ago. I don't know where it is. But yeah, so no Starbucks for me. So that counts as a double crochet. We are doing chains in this pattern instead of the stacked singles because the stacked singles were too bulky whenever I was playing with them. So here I'm going to start off with one over the previous double crochet, and then in the chain one space we're going to work an increase of 2 doubles, and that's it all the way around. Over the 1 double you just work 1 double. I don't know why I'm whispering. Who's listening? I don't know why I'm whispering. Anyway, I'm like talking all quiet. I wasn't really whispering, but I definitely lowered my tone as if I'm giving you the inside scoop. Hey, you're going to want to bent on fast legs. Like that's what I'm doing. Okay, then you're going to want to work an increase into the chain one space. And then you're going to want to work a double over the double. That's the repeat all around. Okay, again, I got really quiet there. Like shh, don't tell nobody. Anyways, so yeah, Starbucks, I have never indulged. I have never, ever watched the movie Frozen. Never. Now, I know everybody hasn't watched Frozen, but it seems like everyone I know has. So for me personally, in my circle, in my life, Frozen. I got to think of things. It seems like everyone has done. I was thinking about TV shows I've never watched, but I think a lot of people have not watched the same TV shows because most people just don't watch TV anymore. So I'm not going to go down the TV road, but if I was, it would be shows like The Office. I've never once watched The Office, not a single episode. I've only ever just seen the memes on the internet. I've never watched The Office. I've never watched like Young Sheldon or I don't know. Pretty much I have never watched. I stopped watching TV in the early 2000s. I really have. When I had James, so I had James in 2002. I pretty much stopped watching TV after that. I just had so much going on in my life. So whatever has come out since 2001, I don't even know. I just don't. I haven't been to the movies, like an actual movie theater, since 2007. 20 years as of next year. It'll be 20 years next year since I have actually sat down with a popcorn and watched a movie. And the very last movie I ever watched in a movie theater was the very first Transformers movie that came out in 2007. It was the very, very first one. And that was it. And that was a date Larry and I went on. That was our first date, as a matter of fact. And it's just been Larry ever since. Who needs the movies when I got a Larry? So yeah, that's it. That's, I can't think of many other things that I haven't done that it seems like everybody has. Because I'm pretty sure I've done some things that a lot of people haven't. Like I have been skiing before, skiing, tubing. I grew up very close to the beach. That's not something everybody can do. And so I spent my first 19 years of my life at the beach every summer. 19 years. Stick on. Oh my gosh, it is so dry. One thing about the heat here, I'm going to get back on topic. I had to pause to grab my lip balm. Man, one thing about the heat here is that it is dry, but it is dry. It will dry you out. So let's see. I have gone to 3 national parks. So there's Yosemite, there is Yellowstone, and Grand Canyon. I've seen Meteor Crater here in Arizona, but I've not been to Tombstone, which I really would like to do. I would love to see Tombstone in Bisbee, but I have seen Meteor Crater here in Arizona. I've lived in the snow. I've been to a mountain high town where the town was in a mountain. It's crazy. That was when we went skiing. That was in Mammoth Mountain, California. Let's see. I've shot a gun. Guns. I own a gun. I own a rifle. It's a Henry. I never use it, but I have one. Let's see. What have I done that a lot of people probably haven't? I've been riding on a motorcycle, and a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. I didn't either at the time. You get comfortable with it eventually. I have swam in the ocean. I know that the majority of people don't live on the coasts, so a lot of people swim in rivers and lakes, but I have swam in the ocean and a river and a lake. River here, I've swam in the Colorado River here in Arizona. We only live an 8-minute drive from it. So I have been in the Colorado River, and I have swam in lakes in Oklahoma. Let's see. I have not experienced a tornado, but I came close to it once, just once, many years ago. I have traveled outside the country, but it was to Mexico. And I know some people travel, they go into Canada or they go into Mexico. Hey, that counts. I'm still in North America, but I have gone to another country. I mean, you grow up in Southern California. How can you not go to Mexico? So in Mexico, I've been to Tijuana and Rosarito. Those are the two places I've been to in Mexico. So now what I'm going to do is create, I'll show you. Ooh. So now from here, the solid circle, we got to create all these little loops here to square out the piece. So you're going to start with a chain 6, which counts as a single crochet plus chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we skip 2. This little gnarled looking stitch right here, that is a whole stitch. You could actually work into it. It is a whole stitch. So don't forget to count it. 1, 2, and then the third one, just work a single crochet. That is our first corner. The corners get 5 chains. We started with 6 because this first chain here counts as a single crochet. So now we're just going to chain 3, and we're going to skip 2, and in the third, we're going to work a single crochet, and we're going to do that 2 more times. We need 3 chain 3 loops between each corner. So let's skip 2, 1, 2, and in the third. This is not supposed to be a tutorial. This is just the insiders. This is what you guys get for hanging out with me. 1, 2, 3. So now we have 3 chain 3 loops. And now we're going to go ahead and chain 5 for our second corner. There we go. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, name some things down in the comments. Let's go both on it. Some things that you have not done that clearly everyone around you has done. Like maybe you've never driven a car, but everyone you know drives. That kind of a thing. And then name some things that you have done that you know most people around you have not done, if that makes sense. For example, skydiving. That's the kind of thing that most people have never done. Or bungee jumping. Or, for example, depending on where you live, I, for example, can say I've shot guns and I own a gun. Maybe if you live in England, that's something you've never done. Or maybe you live in a part of the United States where guns just aren't a thing, and so you've never done it. For example, that's just for example. You know, like I've been skiing. Maybe none of you have, or not none of you, but maybe only 1 or 2 of you have out of 1,000 of you. So who knows? All right, now we got to work our 3 chain 3 loops again. So let's see, what are some other things I've done that maybe a lot of people haven't done? 1, 2, 3. I can't really think of anything else because I'm not that daring. Like one of the most daring things I've ever done was at 19 years old, I decided to head out on my own because when I was 19, no, I was 20 when I did this. I was 20. No, I was 19. I was 19. So when I was 19, when I first turned 19, and my birthday is in June, so it was by September, just a couple months later, my dad moved us to Oklahoma. And I hated it at first. Think about it. Southern California girl, all of her friends are back home. She grew up essentially on the beach. What am I doing in Oklahoma? I hated it at first. And so I worked for 9 months, saved up my money, and jumped on a Greyhound bus. This is my first time ever traveling alone or doing anything on my own. It was very ambitious. I jumped on a Greyhound bus back to California. Big mistake. There's a reason my dad did well out there. He made a lot of money. He was in the medical field. He made a lot of money. He could afford it. Yes, even in 1999, California was an unobtainable dream. It's just expensive. And so one of my friends and I got an apartment, and it was nothing but pure struggle the whole time. So I went back to back to Oklahoma. Then I wound up falling in love with it because I wound up falling in love and having babies and getting married and doing all that. And now that slow, quiet life is all I want. I thought I wanted California when I was 19, but by the time I had my first son, all I wanted was the slow, quiet, safe life of knowing everyone that lives around you and living in a small little country town. It's all I want now. But anyways, so yeah, that was probably one of the most daring things I ever did. And I traveled back and forth twice like that on a Greyhound bus. But I suppose in 1999, things were a little bit safer than they are now. Now it's kind of a risk. You know, we don't have the high trust society we once used to. Things have changed. So, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. I have traveled on a train halfway across the country. I guess that's about it. That's really about it. I've been to some concerts, but I think most people have done that. Oop, that's 4. Wait, yeah, I need to make a corner. 3, 4, 5, skip 2, and there we go. And now I need my last 3 here between the first and the last corner. So name some things for me that you have never done that seemingly everyone else has done, and see if you can come up with something that you've done that you're pretty sure most people haven't done. And my count is off. 1, 2, 3. My count is off because I only have 1 unworked stitch. Well, I probably screwed up while I was talking and working. Let's see here. We need to see 2 unworked stitches in between each lump. I might have 3 unworked somewhere because I gobbled up an extra stitch. Up, is it right here? It's no, that's 2 unworked. Yeah, let's see. Well, now it's time to count. So here's my starting chain. So I'll count it first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, I see my mistake right here. I missed a double crochet right there. So I'm just going to hold on to that. And it's no big deal. I sort of figured I was going to make a mistake by talking and crocheting, but I don't care. What a small little mistake to make. There we go. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have to catch you up on? I guess that's really about it. We're mostly just super jazzed to be able to get James into the Mayo Clinic soon now. Oh, I cried. I'm not going to lie. I cried whenever that man told me, I'm sorry, we don't accept Medicaid. And I said, well, we applied for disability for our son, and we believe that he's going to get Medicare from that. And he said, now, Medicare we do accept, but, you'll just have to let me know when he gets it, and we'll look at the type of insurance that they're covering him for, and we'll see if we will cover it, if it covers his care here. So it's still fingers crossed, but we'll see. I guess there's different levels to Medicare. So we'll see if the level they approve him for, covers his issue, will cover the Mayo Clinic. But anyway, yeah, there's absolutely nothing going on. Yep. So on one of my older videos, not older, but a video on my other channel, what I would usually do to fill the dead air is play with my makeup, do my hair, something like that. I did do a lot of makeup over there, and I reviewed a lot of makeup, and I even had a wig sponsor for a while with a real live human hair wig. I'll show you the picture right here, boop, of the wig they gave me. And they were going to pay me for doing that, not in cash, but I got to keep the wig, which it's like a $1,500 wig or $2,000 wig, something like that. It was somewhere in the area of $1,500 to $2,000. And then they also told me that with every sale, I would get a 10% kickback commission. And I did earn some commissions, but they wanted to pay me on PayPal, which I do not use PayPal. at all. So I said, well, don't give me the cash. Just hold on to what I earned for credit toward another wig. I wanted to get another wig, but I wound up not doing that. So I figured that wig I got was plenty enough payment. Okay. So yeah, it's absolutely good. You know what? I'll go get it and you can see for yourself the quality of it. I haven't worn it for like 3 years. So it's probably got some, box ugliness to it from sitting in a box for 3 years, but I'll be right back. I'll show you. This is the company called Wigshi. And a little bit so you can see. Yeah, I've had this for a few years now. And yeah, it's pretty fancy. Like they go all out. Let's see. I don't even remember what's in here. Oh, okay. I think this might talk about the type of wig, maybe what it was called. No. What is the name of this wig? It's a woman's name is the name of the wig, but I don't remember what it's called anymore. But that's not important. Okay, let's just look at this wig. It's gorgeous, but it needs some TLC because it's just been in this box for years. But it is a real human hair wig. Hang on. Oh, it still smells like fresh shampoo. I did take it down to the beauty salon because I also have a one of those like wig things that you can pin a wig to style it. I took it down to the beauty salon so that they can give it a professional wash and a blowout. Yeah, it's got some crimping all through here where it's like dented right there, unfortunately. And you can see the quality of the mesh right there. Look at that. It looks like real scalp whenever you're wearing it. It's amazing. It does have combs and adjusters. It is not a mono, whatever it is. It's just partial, but you can make a part anywhere from here to here. You can make a part anywhere. And the quality is gorgeous. I don't have a brush with me. The quality of this is gorgeous. And that is a real human hair wig that they sent me. And I thought it looked really good on me. But I just got out of wearing wigs, and there you can see it a little bit better. It is just gorgeous. And I love the highlighting that they put through there, some of the caramel colors. Really, really pretty. But it needs brushed. In fact, let me get my brush. See if I can make this look nice. See if I can brush this out a little bit and make it look nice and neat. It's very pretty. And it's always, honestly, a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be. It's more comfortable than a synthetic wig because it breathes. You don't sweat under a human hair wig. And yes, I was weirded out about wearing human hair at first too. Then I saw like how common it was that people do this. It's the front right here is just, this needs to be styled. Because of being in the box and in the bag, it's like crimped right here. It's got this weird lump because this is like the top of the scalp, but you can see how lumpy and wavy it is. It's not supposed to look like that. So this does need to be styled again. Gosh, I haven't worn it. Look at the quality of this. It is so nice. But yeah, this was like between $1,500 and $2,000 for this wig. I don't know how many I sold, but they told me that my video did help sell some units. So I earned myself some commissions, probably only a few $100s, but that's a few $100s off of a wig. I was going to get a short wig. They do, as far as their pricing goes, they did charge by length as well. So if you got a short wig, you get a cheaper wig, not cheaper, but it was more affordable. And yeah, the quality of this is simply amazing. It's like an invisible mesh. It's absolutely amazing. No matter where you put your part, it's gonna look that amazing. So you can put a part right here and look at that. It just looks like scalp. But yeah, I'll put that picture up again. You can see it was a really, really nice sponsor. I wanted to work with them again, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't do a good enough job because they didn't reach out to me to do any more. Maybe I wasn't making as many sales for them as other YouTubers. And that's probably likely it. And that's also probably because of my, the people who were watching me weren't watching me to buy wigs. Like, I'm not a wig channel. I don't do wigs on a regular basis ever. I do crochet and makeup and that kind of thing. So I wasn't attracting the type of audience that I think they needed me to attract, which was a audience that's focused on wigs. There are many channels on YouTube that do that solely. They just do wigs. And so likely they felt like the investment wasn't worth the return since they probably weren't selling enough units. So they never reached back out. That's okay. Well, you know, you're asking a crocheter to do wigs to an audience of crocheters, you know? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But hey, they're going to offer me a nice wig that I would never be able to afford. I'm not going to say no. And the quality of the wig, everything I said in my review was 100. I wore that wig for a week. Actually, I wore it for about 10 days before I finished my review video. And I reviewed it every day for 10 days. Every day. I went to Larry's family, not Larry family, but the company Christmas party in it. I made crochet tutorials while wearing it, just wearing it all day. I wore it clipped up. I wore it half and half. I styled it. I went everywhere to the grocery store with it, and I filmed all of it. A wear review, how it is in the wind. I even stuck my head out the window of the truck as we were going down the road just to prove how well it stayed on my head with no glue. With no glue. That was another thing I really liked about that wig is you didn't have to glue it or melt it on. You just put it on. It was so perfectly fitted. Oh my goodness. And expensive wigs are expensive for a reason. I will say that much. Some things that are expensive, it seems like there's no point in them being that expensive. But when it comes to an expensive wig, it's expensive for a reason. Not only is it high quality, but the fit, you can wear it with no glue. It's amazing. But anyway. So there's that. 1, 2, 3. But mostly over on my other channel, I just did like buy makeup. And I reviewed makeup. And I wasn't sponsored by anyone to review makeup. I also reviewed my FabFitFun boxes. And I was not sponsored by anyone. The only sponsor I had on that channel was Wigshi. That was it. That was my one and only sponsor. So I was doing all of that out of my own pocket because I like makeup. I love makeup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I love fashion and all things like that. And so I was happy to buy these things and try them out. And I was getting things that weren't super expensive. I wasn't experimenting on expensive makeup. I did buy expensive makeup, but it was makeup I already liked. So it was just for personal use. 1, 2. And that channel is pretty much dead. I got a notification from YouTube that I haven't uploaded on it for 6 months, so they're going to demonetize it. That makes sense. I haven't uploaded on it for 6 months. So that's it, kind of a dead channel now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There just wasn't enough going on in my life to keep up with a vlog channel, which requires very regular uploads, like almost daily uploads. And I didn't realize that I just don't have that much going on. I guess I get excited to talk about a thing. 1, 2, 3. And then that's it. Then I don't have anything else to talk about. 3. Okay, I'm at the right count now. So we're going to end this by chaining 3. And then the very first chain we made on this starting chain 6, that's what we're going to slip stitch into. Then slip stitch into that chain, like around it. Chain 3 for a double, and I'm going to slide all of that down, and we're going to work 4 more doubles for a total of 5. Each corner is going to have 5 doubles and a chain 3. So 5 doubles, chain 3, 5 doubles. So I guess each corner is going to have 10 doubles separated by a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I swear this is not a tutorial. I swear on everything. I mean, I've already filmed all of this. It's already filmed. All I'm waiting to do now is to finish making the rest of my squares so that I can assemble the piece. It's going to be so cute. Very customizable, too. If you want it bigger, well, make more squares. Simple as that. And it's supposed to be a bit oversized, so it's not fitted. You know, so there's a lot of, like, leniency with the fit. It's nice. 2. Perfect way to dress up a tank top. 3. Along with that little poncho, which by the way, I'm going to take some new pictures of that poncho and change my thumbnail. That video is not getting very many views, and I think it's because the thumbnail is kind of like trash. So I'm going to take a picture of the poncho on the dress form so that people can see that the one size will fit on a size 12 woman and a size 6 dress form. So that's nice. I think people would appreciate seeing that. And I think it might draw a little bit more attention. That, or there's simply no interest in a poncho, you know. I mean, it's not always that the thumbnail is bad. It could also be that there's just not a lot of interest in a poncho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I didn't tell you anything about what we're doing. That's because this is not a tutorial. Don't beat me up. So in the first chain 3 space, we work a single crochet, and then we just yarn over, no chaining, and we work 7 double crochet in the second chain 3 space. See? So you're going to work your corner, single crochet, 7 doubles, single crochet. So now that I've worked my 7 doubles, I'm going to work a single crochet in that third chain 3 space, and then yarn over and go right into this next corner, and I work 5, chain 3, 5. And that's the repeat. So you're kind of getting just the Cliff's Notes version here, okay? You'll get a full in-depth tutorial in a few days. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that there is going to be some interest in this top, because I would be so excited to see lots of people making it and enjoying it. So that's going to be 3, 4, and 5. There we go. 5, chain 3, 5, and then single crochet. And without doing any chains, just going to jump right over and start working 7 doubles. So summer is now half over. I don't know about you guys. I know that there are some people whose favorite time of year is summer. That's never been me. I cannot wait for the fall. Yes, I'm a basic Becky. Give me the fall leaves and the pumpkin spiced world. Like, give me all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what do you guys got going on in the fall? Like, what goes on in your state or in your town in the fall? Because I can tell you what goes on here in Arizona in the fall. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's no Oktoberfest. I don't know about the whole state, but I don't live in the whole state. I live in this town, and we never venture outside of it. And there's nothing. We don't have any parades here. We don't have any festivals. We don't have any carnivals. No county fairs. No fairs at all. There's nothing that happens here. There's no Christmas anything, no Halloween. There's no Halloween here. It doesn't exist. There's no one that comes to your house. And when you drive around town, there's only a few places doing trunk or treat. This place where I live is all retirees. They don't care. They've done it their whole life. They've been there. They've done that. They just want to be left alone and not deal with holidays and kids and nonsense. And so that is what happens here. Nothing. There's the occasional car show, but they always do them in the summertime. Yeah, no, I'm not going out there in 117 degrees to look at a car. No. So there's nothing going on in the fall here, or the winter, or the spring, or the summer. They used to have an event here called the Regatta in the Colorado River, but then the locals voted to get rid of it. So now there's actually nothing to do here at all. So what do you guys got going on? I have to live vicariously through all of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what do you guys got going on in the fall? And please don't be shy. You're not going to make me feel jealous or anything, because I know that this is pretty much my last summer here in Arizona. Soon enough, I will be living somewhere where there are many events that happen throughout the year, every year, including a county fair. So don't feel bad for me. I'm getting out of this place. But I would love to know what is going on in your neck of the woods this coming fall. What do you guys normally do? Just real quick, how we're going to end this round. If you're now to this point, just work a single crochet in the last chain space, and then join with a slip stitch in the top of your third chain here, like the third chain up. Now we need to make some big chains here to work into. Let me show you. Okay. So now we need to work these big chains here. So we're going to start with a chain 8, but the first 3 act as a double crochet, so I'm going to work them a bit firm. Okay, now I'm going to loosen it up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a total of 8. And we're going to work a double, then chain 3 and a double in each corner, then chain 5. We only work chain 8 once at the very beginning. Chain 5, so that's 3, 4, 5. And in the very next single crochet over, work a double crochet. And over the chain 7, or no, the 7 double crochets all around, they're going to be worked with a chain 3. And then in the 4th stitch over, 1, 2, 3, 4, work a single, followed by a chain 3. Then yarn over, and in the very next single over, work a double right over the top of it. Now we chain 5 again. So we always chain 5 going into the corner and coming out from the corner. And then that corner is just a double, chain 3, and a double. Then chain 5 again. And in the very next single over, we're going to work that double again, followed by a chain 3, single crochet in the 4th stitch, chain 3, double crochet in the next single, and then chain 5 and work your corner again. This round finishes up just chain 3 after you work your last single, and then right here you have your starting chain 8, and in the 3rd chain up, work a slip stitch. There we go. And now I'm going to slip stitch into that chain 5 space right there, and chain 3 for a double, and work 4 more double crochet for a total of 5. So now this is the last round. This is the round you saw me working whenever I first jumped on camera. So pretty much with this round here, each chain 5 space gets 5 doubles. Each chain 4 space gets 4 doubles. Each corner is going to get 3 double, chain 3, 3 double. Pretty easy, right? So that's my 5. So now I'm going to work a corner. Follow that with a chain 3, and then 3 more doubles in that same space. And now I see I have a chain 5, so I'm going to work 5 doubles here, 4 in each of these chain 4s, 5 here, and then work a corner, and that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, right? Okay, let's just keep on a-chatting. Okay, so just real quick, whenever you get to the end of the row here and you've worked your last group of 4 doubles, all you have to do is join to the top of that starting chain 3 with a slip stitch, chain 1 and cut, and weave in all of your ends. Then move on to the next one. Again, you're going to need at least 20. So I'm going to go and finish making the rest of my squares, and you'll see the video for this in just a few days from today. So I love you guys lots. I hope you still love me back, even though I talk about things sometimes that might be uncomfortable. And I'll see you guys in the next video coming up really, really soon. Bye.